Hello, this is Miss Chambers, and I'm going to be explaining the angle addition postulate. So the angle addition postulate states D is in the interior of angle ABC if and only if the measure of angle ABD plus the measure of angle DBC equals the measure of angle ABC. A lot of times in geometry, things are a lot easier to understand if you have a visual. So we're going to draw out a visual to match what this is saying in words and symbols. So D is in the interior of angle ABC. So it sounds to me like I need an angle. So to start with, I'm going to draw an angle. And that's a way small line. Let's make our line bigger. There we go. And an angle is just two rays meeting at a common endpoint. So I need an endpoint for those rays to share. And if I look at the name up here, it says angle ABC, so my vertex of my angle needs to be labeled B. And I need an A on this side and a C on that side. And it says point D is in the interior of that angle. So that means D has to be between the two sides of the angle. So I'm just going to label it here. And then it says the measure of angle ABD. The M stands for measure. So angle ABD. So what I need is I need a third ray that will extend through D to create that angle. Alright, so it says the measure of angle ABD. So it's saying the measure of this angle here. It says we don't know what it is, we can just represent it. Let's just represent it with X degrees, plus the measure of angle DBC. DBC. And I don't know what it is either, so I'm just going to label it with a different variable, Y, equals the measure of angle ABC. ABC. So looking at it visually, it makes sense, because what it's saying is the measure of this angle, that's X degrees, plus the measure of this angle, which is Y degrees. If I added those together, I should get the measure of the big angle, ABC. So basically it's saying the measure of angle ABC is equal to the degree measure of this smaller angle plus the degree measure of this smaller angle. Alright, so let's do an example problem. Find the measure of angle 1 if the measure of angle 2 equals 58 and the measure of angle JKL equals 162. So in this example problem, the measure of angle 1 is what I'm looking for, and we can name angles by their letters, their points on the angle, but we can also use a number to label them. And see how this doesn't have a degree symbol? So that means that I can use it to name the angle. Alright, the measure of angle 1 is what I'm looking for, so I'm going to put a question mark there. If the measure of angle 2 equals 58. So if the measure of angle 2 is 58, I'm going to write 58 in here. And the measure of angle JKL equals 162. So from here to here, it's 162 degrees. They want me to find the measure of angle 1. So take a second, think about it, see if you can figure out what you're supposed to do. Alright, so what we just learned was the angle addition postulate said that if I add these two smaller angles together, I should get the measure of the bigger angle. So if I'm looking for the measure of one of the smaller angles, instead of adding, I need to subtract. So 162 minus 58. So what's 162 minus 58? 104. Right. And that would be how you would use the angle addition postulate.